Hey, yo, what's up? This is your boy Famoe, Reppin' Rhymes Records, the one and only, and you are listening to the Channa 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 podcast, because Famo said so. Let's get it.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of my podcast. We have a very special guest today joining all the way from Germany. We got Famo joining the podcast. Hi, Famo.
Hey, Channa. First of all, thanks for being a part of this Channa 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 podcast. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How is Germany? How's the morning so far?
How's the morning? It's snowing, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's freezy, rainy, but over here, everything's fine. All
Right.
good. Can't complain.
Famo, it's funny how we got connected because I got to
Yeah,
know you from Cameo, right? I saw a Cameo call on you, and then we did that Cameo call.
yeah,
Uh,
I remember that.
yeah. So, how did you end up in Germany? I know you were born in Britain, right?
No, I'm actually Italian. I'm born and raised in Germany, but
Okay.
I was signed in the UK also back in the day in 2011 with Rock Solid ENT, you know.
Right.
So my life was like kind of like back and forth always, you know.
Right. You're kind of like the Mr. International already,
Yeah,
right?
you already know.
Um, so that last 2 years, 2020, 2021 was like
Yeah.
such a bad time for everybody. But how was it affected you? Like personally, how did it affected you the last 2 years?
In the first place, it was like, we just checked out the news, and seen something is going on in China, but we didn't really pay attention to it. You know, I had some people in the family that was curious about the situation, but I was like, yo, let's wait and see what's really gonna happen. We had the swine flu back in the day, so
Mm.
I never expected the impact of this COVID going worldwide, and then it hit Italy very hard back in the day. And I was talking to my grandmother and my grandfather, and they were really, 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 really scared about the impact that Italy was affecting with COVID. And as soon as it hits Italy, it came to Germany as well. So um, it was kind of scary seeing how all the people were buying stuff. Nothing was in the supermarket to buy. We had some issues with working areas. Closed restaurants, this and that. So at the end of the day, it was like, I am legend, just just in a way,
Mm.
that I never expected at the end of the day, especially for us artists, because we wasn't even able to perform, to do any kind of stuff. But I'm happy at the end of the day that we can go back to a normal life, even though now we got that Ukraine stuff going on as
Right.
well, So I know for a fact that we lost a lot of people. I know also a few people that got COVID. I had it too a few weeks ago. So it's not funny. Um, and also after the vaccination, after my booster vaccine, my third one, I had also some nerve damage going on.
Mm.
Had some several issues that I was fighting with. But at the end of the day, it was totally worth it because if I wasn't be able to get vaccine, I actually didn't know the impact that I had the last few weeks with COVID. So thank God everything's fine now. And yeah, that's it. In my point of view, I'm happy that this COVID situation is over.
Mm.
You know, in the visual effect, like last year or 2 years ago when it started, and I hope that we get back on track as soon as possible. Traveling without any kind of situation to think about. Having fear of something. So that's my point of view, actually.
Right. So how is the situation now? Is normal life back, or how is like
Yeah,
performing, for
it is.
example,
It
getting
is.
in front of people?
You know, there are two sides. There are the people that never cared about the situation, so they did whatever they want to do, and there are people that now just getting back to it. It's getting normal. It's getting
Mm.
normal, but since the situation with Ukraine now, with the war that they got going on, everything is getting expensive. So we got another problem. But at the end of the day, I can say if I'm going outside, having fun with friends or going out with my girl, things getting back to normal. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
How,
After
how's
like,
how's how's it your side?
yeah. So finally, actually, we are kind of also getting sort of normal, back to normal. Uh,
Yeah.
the live shows just started like few weeks back. I actually was able to go for 2 gigs so far.
Yeah.
And the experience is quite different because you don't know how to react now. Like, even the artists
Yeah.
there, they're kind of like shy. They don't know whether they should hug you or whether they should shake
Yeah.
your hands or whatever. So it's kind of still, we are still adjusting. but but I got a big appreciation for everything after this COVID, because even just simply just able to have a cup of coffee outside, I think it's
Yeah.
very, I appreciate that now. I wouldn't
Yeah.
take for granted any of this anymore, because it's
Yeah.
just it's how very important to us now, right? The COVID
Yeah,
show
it
us
is.
that.
It is because we never see that point of view, how to appreciate those kind of things, because it was just a regular stuff, no?
Right.
Yeah.
So Famo, can you tell me a little bit about your childhood, and what's your earliest memory of music?
Ooh, I'm actually a kind of guy that started with dance music. So I was really into Michael Jackson back in the
Mm,
day. I remember when I was 5 years old. You remember that VHS cassette from Michael Jackson's history with all those music videos, black and white, Come
right.
the Burana, the intro. Yeah. So that was the main point starting into artistic way, because as soon as I watched those videos, I was imitating Michael Jackson. So that's how everything started. Then I went to some MTV clip contests as I was 11 years old. Actually, was also in the finals for the MTV clip contest, and did some hip hop, modern, jazz, dance kind of choreographies all over the place in Germany. And afterwards, there was a talent show in Italy, and I was a huge fan of Nelly, and he released Country Grammar back in the day.
Right.
And I did a performance, a cover version from Nelly's Number One, and went straight up to the third place. And that's where everything started, you know, in the point of view if you talk about music. And
Right.
if you talk about family and childhood, it was a tough one because I met my father with 28 years. After 28 years, he was kind of like yeah, he's not important to me actually, to be honest. And I was growing up with my mother and my grandmother, my grandfather, my stepdad as well, and we had a tough life in the first place. But now things turning out great, so I'm grateful that my mother was always there for me. Yeah, if you take it short, that's actually the thing, how everything started.
Right. So other than Nelly, who else like you really got inspired from?
Eminem. Eminem is one of my favorite artists. Even if there are so many people that inspiring Eminem, but Em is actually one of my favorites. Also, Talib Kweli,
Mm,
he's a great lyricist. People like Jadakiss, Tupac, Biggie, Cameron, KRS-One, Rakim. So if you talk, because I'm a 90 kid, so I
right.
was born in 87. So um I was really into that kind of music where we were waiting each Friday on new music videos and MTV, from JC, even R. Kelly and people like that, P. Diddy. And music changed nowadays a lot. So I'm not a fan of this auto tune stuff, the mumble rap.
Right,
I'm that old school guy. I'm that old school guy.
right. Being a fan of that 90s music, and you're
Yeah.
able to actually record with Corrupt, right? Of Dog Pound.
Yeah,
So
I
how was
was, yeah.
that experience? Like,
It was funny though. We have a DJ over here called DJ Lowlife, and he knew that I was doing some features with people such as members from G Unit back in the day, Shy Drew Hill, and all of that. And he called me and asked me how things really work, if it comes to features and getting in contact with people. And he was doing every week shows. He had a party line called Brown Sugar that went really big in Stuttgart back in the day. And he asked me, how is it able, or what would be the best option to do a record with people such as Corrupt or Das Dillinger, or he was actually supposed to doing a record with Das Dillinger from the Dog Pound Gang. And I told him, you know what? If you really want to do as DJ a record with those kind of guys, just make sure you got him on a show, so you can be with him, filming it, doing a record, and then boom, maybe you don't even have to pay that much, for the verse because he's already there. You booked him for a show, so things are a little bit different. And what happened? It happened quick. He called me and said, "Yo, I got Das Dillinger. Can I hit you up at the studio and doing the record?" And I was like, "Sure, man. Would appreciate it having a legend in there." And I was asking, "Is there maybe Corrupt? Because if so, maybe I'll try to get him on a record." And as it was, the bus came down the street. Das Dillinger came out of the wind, and then I saw Corrupt as well, and I was like, "Jackpot, he's in it. All right." Then we had the session in the studio. Das Dillinger did the part for DJ Low Life. Then Corrupt jumped in. Corrupt get downstairs, smoking a blunt, and I was like, "Yo, Corrupt. To be honest, I got a record going on that you could fit in." And he looked at me and was like, "If I like it, let's see, how it goes." And from there on, just played the record, played the beat. He jumped in. I did the record as well, and it was crazy the way he's recording stuff because to see it in real life, having the opportunity to work with a West Coast legend actually, like Dog Pound Gang, the Outlaws, and talking also about Tupac. It was amazing.
right, right. Yeah, I actually saw the music video as well of that. It's
Yeah,
it's
that behind,
really
yeah, the making, yeah, exactly, the making of
right.
behind the scenes. Yeah, it was like a dream come true. But I got some great stuff this next year going on as well. So I can't wait. I can tell you that after the interview, to keep that secret. But it's gonna be big.
Right. So Famo, did you see the NFL halftime show?
Yeah, I did, and I was so fucking happy. I remember watching it. It was like I'm feeling like a kid. I missed this kind of music. This hip hop legends. Eminem, Dre, Kendrick Lamar nailed it. Mary J. It was awesome. It was awesome.
That was a just amazing. I think for me, like the best halftime show, right?
Yeah,
Probably
it,
after
it
Michael
was.
Jackson.
To me is like the Michael Jackson and this hip hop halftime show, one of my favorites. I'm like, I was like, after the show, I was like, hopefully we get back to the old good hip hop music. That would be awesome. It was a great show. I loved it.
Right. I want to ask you regarding in Germany. How is like when you were growing up and when you were getting into hip hop? How was the
Yeah,
situation there? Was it acceptable? Hip hop was
they hate it. They
they
still
hated
hating
it.
it. Yeah, they still hate. If to be honest, the people over here are kind of. I'm living in the south side, so Stuttgart, right? So the people are selfish, big time. If I'm going to the UK or in the States, and did music, there was always another energy. People appreciate the things that you do, but if it comes to Germany and you start doing things that are way different that other people are doing, it's tough. It's tough because I was remembering doing music. I mean, we're talking about 2003, 2004. It's almost 20 years. How people acting like. At the beginning, in the first place, it was like, man, you're not an American, so stop doing this, stop doing that. And afterwards, while I was doing music with the States, flying to the States, doing a record, doing our entire album with some Grammy nominated producers, and big names on it. Then we're talking about, man, you don't sound like an American, so stop it. You know what I mean? Then as time goes by and I getting better and better, now we are in a point where people accepting it, but still don't want to really support in it. But I don't even care because it's not about the people around you, that make you the man that you are. So if I'm able to do music that you love, even you're from the Philippines, right?
Yeah.
So what I mean, you just listen to the songs and you love it. So that's the advantage of being a real artist, because it's not about the people around you. It's the people that never heard of you, and turn into fans, paying for your stuff, having you on shows. And that's the thing that I appreciate the most. That's why also I never focused in Germany. That's why I was signed to the UK then, back then, was nominated for the official mixtape awards, did a lot of stuff in the UK. Then I did stuff in the US. And afterwards, I signed in Germany a record deal in 2016, because on 2016, I was working on an album and I did a record with TQ, did some records with Big Bravos, and just prepared an entire album. But I was talking to my best friend Nina, and I was like, man, I've been independently for so many years. I just want to make sure to be through a record to a major company, just releasing stuff, leaning back and see what's going on. And over here, there was a record company that was also distributed by Universal
Mm.
that I signed to for 2 years. But the problem was they forced me afterwards doing German hip hop music. So, and I didn't came out of the contract, had some serious law problems with this company. And then I started to working for the comic industry, because I wasn't able to release music. I wasn't able to do any other stuff. And I'm like, man, I'm the type of guy that is creative. I need to do stuff before, I'm exploding internal. And then everything's changed. I wasn't able to do 2 years stuff, and I just went into the comic industry and did some mangas, doing inks for some comic books, getting involved with Adam Lawson. He's a huge filmmaker, and also writer that we talk afterwards if you ask other questions, so we get into it deep. And then I signed to, once I get out of the contract, I signed to Counter Records for a record singer called Johnny Depp. And I thought they put really money behind the marketing, which they didn't. And then I was just sick and tired of it. I just leaned back, left the music industry for a while, and I was like, man, you know what? Music changed the way I don't even like it anymore. So why should I keep going doing what I love to do if there is nothing that you have passion within the things you do? And then we had 2020, the COVID situation.
Mm.
And by the end of the year of 2020, I was thinking about coming back with some stuff. And here I am, man.
Right. But I want to say
Yeah,
the track like Johnny Depp, I think it's with Good
yeah,
Night. That's I
yeah.
think it has like 500,000 streams already, right?
Yeah, it has, but I was even actually expecting more, because that's a German Schlager record.
Mm.
So it was in the first place a very well-known record that has already 40 or 42 million streams, went gold. And Alex Christensen is a very well-known producer over here in Germany. He did also back in the day that instrumental called Das Boot. He was the one that actually dropped Michael Jackson from the billboards in Germany with an instrumental record back in the day. So he was big. And I was like, it's not my type of music, but since we're gonna release it through Counter Records and we're gonna shoot the video in Las Vegas, I will jump in. It doesn't even take long. They just sent me the script, and the lyrics, even the lyrics, because everything was prepared. They just needed a rap artist from Germany that could represent the American hip hop music. And they had a few, but they picked the best, and it was me at that time. And I thought, like I said, they really put money behind the record, instead they're just releasing it, and see what happened, because that was a kind of like a fans decision, you know. So we had a 500,000, but I think it's more worth it. If they did it right, I had probably 10, 20, or 30 million.
Right. The song that I actually got, I noticed you was Kill Journal actually, because I
Yeah.
kind of like,
How did you notice the record?
because I spend a lot of time on Cameo actually, so I go on trying to meet artists, and then I saw you
Yeah.
in Cameo, and then I went to Spotify and I went to YouTube, and
Yeah.
then I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
started
Yeah.
listening,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
Kill Journal really hits me because I really love those sort of horror core kind of
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's kind of it is. So tell me about that song, because I know it's also connected to the comics thing as well, right?
Yeah. So, like I said, in that period of 2060, where I was signed to the record label and I wasn't able to do any stuff, I really had to think about what's the next step, even if I'm not doing music, to make sure, to get any sort of thing that I love to do, And it was because I was thinking about what I loved most in the childhood. If we talk about dancing, I don't want to do that anymore. So I was drawing a lot. I was reading mangas. I'm a total fan. I'm a hype fan for Dragon Ball, One Piece,
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? Let's get back into this drawing stuff. And then I had it in my mind, and I was like, it would be really awesome, being in soundtracks, or even being on Netflix with a record. That was my first intention. But I was thinking about it, just left it behind, and just getting into this comic stuff. So I just created a Instagram, was on Twitch also, and created a YouTube channel, with some drawing stuff, inking. And I met some really great guys back in the day that helped me out. Also, big shout outs to Ray Acevedo, because he was the kind of guy that helped me out a lot. He's doing some stuff for Marvel, with sketch cards and stuff like that. And I asked him, what kind of pens to use, how is the process the right way. And after I get into it, within 6 months, I get in touch with Adam Lawson. Adam Lawson is the founder of Gifted Rebels with Ari Wiener. And he's also the co-director of Snakes on a Plane. You remember the movie with Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, he was actually the co-director of that movie, and he also did Escape the Plan, the YouTube series. You ever heard of it? Yo, he's
Right.
he's he's the director of this series, and then he came with some little commissions, sending me some stuff from the eight, and I was like, "What's this? Yo, we got this and that character. If you want to, you can just draw him, put in some colors, just colors behind." And send it so we can promote it on Twitter. And I was like, yeah, sure, I'm doing that for free, because I never had a job for it. So I rather, put passion behind, put some heart behind, and maybe get into some serious jobs. And how it went, how it goes was, I did it 2 or 3 or 4 times. I didn't remember actually. And then he hit me up about Kill Journal. He don't even know that I did music back in the day, because I was just into the comic scene. Didn't talk about Famoe and all of that. I was just doing this. And then we had a Skype convo about the Kill Journal. And he was like, I got some people that sketched and draw X-Men, Wolverine, some people from Marvel are in there involved as well. And I got a side story that we would love to that you put the color on, a side story of Reckon. And I was like, I would appreciate that, man. I would love to. And that was the first debut that I had to be in a huge comic, because it was one of the most exciting excited. Independent comics in 2021 that everybody were waiting for. And then we came in touch with my music. Then he asked me, what did you do in the past? And I was like, this and that and this. And then from out of nowhere, I was saying like, you know what, if you want to, I can do a soundtrack for the Kill Journal. And he was like, yo, that could be dope. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I got some serious people also, that I can connect to get some serious beats. And I
Mm.
hit my old manager Ian up to having a beat by JMO. And he's also a number one Billboard. He also reached number one Billboard hit with D Block Europe. Did some smash records with some serious artists in the UK and in the US. And he sent me the beat, and I was like, "Yo, that was the kind of type of beat that I needed." And then I just did the record, and now we like it came out great, so because he sent out the script before the whole comic was even out, because I need to know the story behind the whole comic, because I just did the side story for Bracken. And once he sent out the script and I was reading also the whole pages, I was like, all right, I got this. And Kill Journal came out at the end of the day.
Right. Uh, I actually collect comics also. Like I like my favorite is actually Captain America, but I don't really love like the movies.
Yeah,
Although I go and watch, I do still go and watch each one of them, but I don't really
yeah,
love the movies because I feel that something is lost from the comics when it goes to the movies. I don't feel the
yeah,
same excitement.
yeah, yeah.
But recently I watched the new Batman movie. That was something different. I really enjoyed it actually.
You know what? I was scared because Robert Pattinson wasn't an actor that I could even imagine on Batman. I was in the cinema and I was like, please God, don't let me waste money, because I don't know if that really works out. But it did.
Right.
It did.
Yeah.
I,
But
I'm a
I
huge I'm a huge Batman fan. I'm a huge Batman fan, to be honest.
Right. So if you take music and comics together, which character do you think is the best sort of character that goes with music? Like, what comic book character?
Maybe the upcoming project that we got going on.
Right, right. Because one for me, because I listen to a lot of metal, right? So I really love
Yep,
Lobo. You know
yep,
Lobo, right? Lobo is so
yeah, yeah,
badass because I think he's
yeah,
like the
yeah,
real metal
yeah, yeah,
comic
yeah, yeah.
artist, comic character, right?
Um, I think the Darkness or
Yeah.
Witchblade. Yeah, those kind of stuff. I was talking to Top Cow. You know that company, Top Cow, that did
No.
actually Witchblade. Yeah, Top Cow is like Panini. Just like a huge brand. They doing great comics, and um, they are very much into metal, because if
Mm.
I'm seeing some comics they did like kind of like Witchblade, or the Darkness, um, they're always metal and heavy metal involved into. So I think I'm one of the first people that put actually in a comic hip hop music into it, to be
Right.
honest, because I never saw that before. And yeah, if we talk about a comic which I can combine with music,
I'm pretty sure
that's
Wu
a good
Tang
question,
probably
man.
done. I'm pretty sure Wu Tang probably done something already,
Yeah,
right?
they did. Yeah, you're right. They did. Back in the day,
Right.
they did. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So
But that's
Famo,
a tough question.
yeah, I saw one of your Instagram posts, one of these photos that you posted. I you were
Which
so
one?
young. I think you I think it's photo with the Jared Hancock, right? The one who passed away, I
Oh
think.
yeah, he passed away. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Tell me a little bit about him and then tell me about that picture because I was so surprised. You were so young on that picture. Right?
Yeah, that was man. Jared passed away a few weeks ago because of a accident that was just impossible to have. He was alone, and nobody was at his house, and that's why he passed away, because of his injury. Jared was the guy to make me the man who I am, because he was the one that I came in touch in 2009, and with I was while I was doing my first debut album, Explicit. in the States with futures like Shy Drew Hill. And he teached me a lot, man. Jared was a kind of guy, genius if it comes to music and to put people to another level. You know what I mean? So that picture was, I think, we did the first record, right? It called Hands Up to the Sky, and we were just talking and making some fun all over the place. And we talked also about shooting the video for On and On that we did back in the day that went also in Germany on your video number one. And yeah, that youth is, like I said, I'm still speechless if I'm thinking about, because he left 5 kids and a wife,
Right.
and he was Grammy nominated for some gospel productions that he did. And I mean, I owe this guy and the whole team so much, because if it comes to positivity and having a vision to become reality, that was the guy that made it possible. So if you got a dream and you want to chase for it, you still have to believe it, even if you have so many people around that, naysayers or people that won't believe in what you do. He was the kind of guy that will stand up and say you can do it, just keep going no matter what. That's why I posted, because as I got the message, I had to share it with the world, because I had the greatest days in the States with those guys, the whole team.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, you also the CEO and founder of Rap and Rhymes Records, right? So
Yes. Yes.
tell me
Yes.
about this records label. What's the purpose of the record label and what you're planning to do with that record label?
Well, Rep and Rhymes Records was actually a idea as I started doing music. So um, since there was people in Germany that really wasn't really supporting me, I did everything on my own. So I started started building up a record label, and just went to the States with Shofar Music Group, creating the album, getting into the marketing. So I was always the kind of guy that never trusted people that I didn't know, just to make sure I have everything on my hands, even if it's harder to make a great process, because if you're a one man or a two-man army, it's difficult getting everything done at the same way if you got 10 or 20 people behind you know what I mean. And yeah, it started actually as an idea, as a kind of hobby dream, from back in the day, and into it gets to reality. And also I had the company in the UK called Wraparounds Records Limited, that was a fusion with Rock Solid DNT back then when I was signing the contract in the UK. And yeah, I think Wraparounds Records turned into a kind of brand which my face is actually on it. But if I'm seeing that in the future, in the next 5 years, I would really appreciate to see other artists coming through Rap and Rhymes Records, maybe also involved in the comic industry, with soundtracks, doing stuff for the film industry and stuff like that. So that's my vision. I'm not into that. I want to be the best artist in the world. So I'm like, I want to do what I love. So if that's the way to make the things that I want happen. If it comes to the music industry and the film industry and the comic industry, I would love to be getting involved into this and make the stuff happen the way that I'm supposed to do.
Right. So I actually I've been walking a lot, and then I actually kept listening to some of your songs because you
Yeah,
have songs from 2006 onwards, I think, in Spotify, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
what I feel like, if somebody asks me what's your favorite Famoe song, for me, I think it's What I've Been Through, because I don't know,
yeah,
it feels very personal actually, because I
yeah,
kind of can interpret that to my life as well. So
yeah. You told
tell
you
me
told me
about
that
that.
you told me that on Cameo. Yeah, I
Yeah, so
remember
tell
that.
me about that song, and how that song got together.
Well, I'm at Black Panther, right? Marvel's Black Panther.
Right.
All right, I met on Cameo. I met back in the day the movie actor called Hassan Rashid. He was also involved on Black Panther, and I was in Italy, I think, when everything happened last year, and he was doing a movie in Ghana called War from the Archives, and I
Mm.
was like, yo, Hassan, if you need a record for the movie, just let me know. And then boom, a DM came into Instagram, and I was like, fam, I told you we need to work together. And I was like, do you need a record? And he was like, yeah, do that. So well, let's set some contracts, so I know I got a guaranteed spot, and we can make that happen. Then he sent me out the script for the movie, and I was like, damn, the story is nice. The trailer looks good. And I was getting in touch with Losu. He's also the co-director of that movie from Ghana. And I was like, you know what? I got a sort of idea to make a record happen, so you can use it for the movie once it's out. They're like, all right. And then I was reading the script, and I was like, man, that's the type of guy that been through a lot of stuff, even if it turns to a bad guy, and being a little bit psycho. I think I can turn it into a real good story to reach exact the same situation that we have with you right now. If you listen to it, we're getting connected to.
Right.
And then I was talking to DJ Pain One, who produced that record as well. And from then on, I just picked up a pen and a paper, put something from my life into those lines as well, and made that record. So
Yeah.
that's actually the official soundtrack for War from the Archives that will be out soon, hopefully.
Right. It's really beautiful, because I think even after many years, if somebody listen to it, they can still relate to whatever they're going through that at that moment, right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah. That was my point of view, to making it lyrically exactly this, to make sure that if people listen to it and they've been through a lot of stuff, they can connect to it and maybe get also some positivity after the record. So that was my intention into
right.
this record.
So, Famo, now that the world is sort of getting back to normal, Europe, I see a
Yeah,
lot of shows are happening in Europe,
yeah,
and
yeah,
also
yeah.
here, yeah, slowly people can travel. So, what are you looking forward to, and what can we expect from you in the near future, which you can share
You
with
you can
us?
expect. I got an invitation on June for the Richmond International Film Festival, which I'm performing in Virginia. So I got there 2 or 3 shows. I don't know what dates. I will post in this next week. Being a guest for the international film festivals it's an honor, being back in the States. This is what I can tell you that will happen. And there are also a few festivals in line on the pipeline. I don't know if I can perform there. I just submitted stuff, also on some several awards as well. So we'll see from there, because if it comes to shows, I still need to finish the other projects that I got going on at the moment. And as soon as everything over, and I can get focused on getting some shows done, that's the upcoming step, which will be soon enough.
Right.
Hopefully internationally.
Right.
You know what I
So,
mean?
what's your message to the viewers of this video, and also people who's going to listen to the podcast?
My message to the people is, if you have a dream, and it's tough in life to become the one that you want to be, um, make sure to achieve the things step by step. I think the goal to be someone to achieve dreams is to stay consistent. You know what I mean? Always love the people around you that support you. Have the positive people around you. Stay away from negativity. If you do have negativity, cut them off. No matter if it's hard, if it's tough, if you don't want to, you have to become a better man, a better girl, a better woman. You know that's actually the main point to tell the people about. Also, stay safe. Especially with this COVID that we got going on. Yeah, this this is it.
Anybody you want to shout out to?
Yeah, man. First of all, I want to shout out Channa. I'm happy to be here, man. Also, I want to shout out Adam Lawson from Gifted Rebels. Nino, my Lazel, my entire Rap and Rams record team, my girl Stefania, my family, my mother, and all the people that supported me. And all the people that want to have some dreams, making it happen. Shout outs to you as well. And yeah, just if it comes to names, is always the thing that you're missing someone, so they getting sad about it. So I want to shout everybody, each and every one that I love and that support me and that is within my circle of friends and homies. And oh yeah, I gotta shout out Sam Shisha. Yeah, he's the dude that one I had to put on. He's one of my best friends, and he's one of the first hookah gathering services in Europe. And one of the best. And Paul for his fitness center, Paul's Town Out. Also, big love to you, man. I think this is it. And if I miss someone, shit happens.
So Famo, thanks for joining. I really
Yeah,
enjoyed this conversation and really appreciate that you actually talk with your fans on social media.
yeah, man.
Unlike the other artists, some like you actually spend time to chat with me, and I really appreciate
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So lastly, tell everybody how they can get connected with you and what's the best way to enjoy your music.
Well, you can get in touch with me on Instagram at it's Famoe. You can also check out my website, officialfamoe.com. If it comes to social media, you can get me also on facebook.com/Famo or even on twitter.com/ it's Famo, ITSFAMOE, just to mention. But the main source to reach me is Instagram because I'm using this and combining everything else. Maybe I will set up a TikTok soon. I'm not a fan of this, but you know, life goes on in the social media platforms as well. So maybe I'll hop in and be a part of it too. Yeah, but mainly just getting me on Instagram.com/it's Famo. And if you want to get some press release news and all other stuff and information, you can also watch me on officialfamo.com.
Right. I think you have to get on
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah. I have to. I don't really like it, but I think I have to. Yeah, I have to.
Right. So Famo,
Yeah.
thanks for joining. So have a
Yeah, you're
great day
welcome.
ahead.
Oh, but by the way, before I'm forgetting that, um, if we talk about the comic industry, there is a new project on deck. So I don't know if you recognize the last post with Wesley Snipes. You
No,
saw
I did
that?
not. I did not.
It did not. No, no. You open your ears, right? All right. Adam Lawson started a partnership with Wesley Snipes, and Wesley Snipes is back in the comic industry, and he's dropping out a comic called Exile.
Wow.
All right. I don't know now if I'm involved with a soundtrack, but Wesley Snipes is listening to the records the next few days, and if I'm a part of it, maybe I'm gonna do the soundtrack for his comic as well. So watch out for this because I was excited seeing Adam Lawson, Gifted Rebels, you know, partnering with the one and only with Mr. Blade, Wesley
Blade.
Snipes. So if I can
Yeah.
if I can be a part of it, I'll let you know, and I'm making sure to send you also a comic over, you know, and yeah, that was the. I can't miss this to tell you that. So just want to show love to Adam as
That's great
well.
news actually because
Yeah,
I think Blade movies was really the first comic movies, right? To be honest, before everything,
yeah,
before all this Marvel
yeah,
cinematic universe
yeah,
started.
yeah. Did you watch Morbius?
Yes, I did.
What you think about this?
Uh,
Yeah, I'm like, if you were asking me, I was like, you only understand the movie if you're a Blade fan,
right.
right? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I couldn't really put this superhero and the vampire thing together. It didn't really make sense that much in that movie.
Yeah.
Because I actually went because there was a connection to Spider-Man and all that before, right? So from the previous, so
Yeah.
that's why I went
Yeah.
and watched it. But anyway, let's see. So I think
Let's see what comes in the future.
yeah, I think there's Moon Knight coming, right?
I just watched it. I just watched the first two episodes, but you know what really got me? Halo. Halo is sick. Did you watch Halo?
No, I did not. I
You have to. I think it's also directed by Steven Spielberg. So take a look at it. It's worth it.
right, right. Thanks,
Yeah.
Famo. I mean, I think we can keep on talking about this stuff, but
Yeah,
I think
we
we should
will.
do. I think we
Man.
should do it again when you have some new music out or something. When
Yeah.
your project is out. So let's do
Yeah.
this
No
again.
problem. We can. Yeah, we can do that. I got you, man.
So thanks a
Right.
lot.
Oh,
Have a
and
great day ahead.
yeah, man, you too. We keep in touch. Take care, Channa. Bye bye.